around 8:45 in the morning. I had for breakfast a glass of whole milk, just like what I'm having right now. And a smaller sushi pack that my mom also got recently from Wegmans. The one by her place rather than the one by my dad's place, which is the Wegmans I work at. I work today from 10 in the morning to 2:30 p.m. The smaller sushi pack I had as a breakfast. It included pieces of sushi that were like this, only they were smaller. And in the middle had either avocado or some tuna. It also had some various hinekuri or nigiri sushi pieces. The kind that are kind of oblong and have fish on top. I had that shortly before my mom drove me to work today. Along with a few sips of a cup of plain coffee my mom made for me. I had the equivalent of 2 Keurig pods of plain coffee, roughly from about 9:45 in the morning. Because my mom got me to Wegmans, the one I work at, around 9:30 in the morning. And by 9:45 in the morning, I had prepared the first Keurig pod. I spent the roughly 20 to 25 or so minutes between me arriving at the Wegmans I work at and walking in. And the start of my shift, editing, and then editing the January 20 My Dinner video. Then I recall finishing the editing, partially during my one 15-minute break today. Which I took at 2 p.m. And then, when I got back around 3 p.m., I had lunch that was a whole thing of vegetable fried rice, and a thing of black udon noodles. that my mom also got at Wegmans. During the same grocery shopping trip she got the sushi from. At that time, I had another glass of whole milk, just like what I'm having right now. At work, I had the equivalent of 2 Keurig pods of plain coffee. Only those coffee pods were generic Wegmans pods. I had those 2 pods roughly from, actually I think it was from around 9:35 in the morning to about 11 in the morning. $11:15 in the morning as the latest time, actually. As for the cup of coffee, my mom made for me in the morning, I had most of that around 4 to 5 p.m. Which was around the time I uploaded the January 20, my dinner video. My shift at Wegmans today was good. Yeah, I restocked a combination of the banana section, hard items such as our various onions and potatoes. Some raw items such as the default green broccoli crowns, and at the very end I restocked some pears. while sometimes passing customers if they needed help with anything, though generally if requested help, they would get my attention, not the other way around. I just do what I described earlier because it's considered good customer service. Yeah, at one point, I think around noon or so, I got a free sample of some truffle infused goat cheese referred to as truffle tremble or truffle tremor. By a coworker I'm less familiar with within the cheese department. After I was told of these free samples by a coworker that I'm more familiar with, that if I recall is primarily a loader for the warehouse employees only section of the supermarket. I was told this in the warehouse, so as soon as I could, I went to the cheese department, which is pretty much right next to the produce department. Apparently, truffle tremor is pretty polarizing. In that you either love it or hate it. Yeah, I ended up liking it. It wasn't too strong for me. Unlike straight blue cheese or dry blue cheese, I mean. A wet blue cheese, as in when it's a liquid sauce, it isn't too strong for me, but dry straight blue cheese is too strong for me. Yeah, I did enjoy that truffle infused goat cheese. It had some good flavor to it, and it was enjoyable. For the UCut video project file, that would ultimately make up the January 20 My Dinner video to be able to render. I had to free up space by deleting a few apps off of my phone, but it's fine. I can always reinstall those apps later. This time around, it wasn't enough to just clear my cached data. And this isn't the first time I've been in this situation. But I was ultimately able to upload the January 20, my dinner video, to my YouTube channel, and hopefully this will be the last time I end up in that situation where I have to delete apps off of my phone in order to be able to render a UCut video project file. I got the easy badge for this game during the evening hours for essentially getting to the second set of floors with my last run, of which I've always opted for a human necromancer. If the first set of floors are known as the upper dungeons, and the second will look kind of like this, what's being filmed now. At least according to my recollection. I'm not sure at this point if it's completely random, or what kind of biome or whatnot I get for the second set of floors in this game. But for now, they're just known as the swamps to me, kind of just like this from my experience. I recall having the equivalent of a small handful of the leftover Halloween candy, as in the leftover Halloween candy that my mom gave out to trick-or-treaters, not the Halloween candy I got from trick-or-treating. What I had was had a combination of some of the small default Hershey's chocolate bars, some Reese's pumpkins, and some Reese's ghosts. And one fun size Kit Kat pack. Basically a pack of 2 small Kit Kats.